Hi, Malati Vijay Kumar welcoming you once again to Meen Man Cooks. In today's episode, let's see Seer fish cutlet. Let's see the ingredients required. About 500 grams of skinless seer fish, about 200 grams boiled peeled potatoes, about 200 to 225 grams of finely chopped onions, approximately 100 grams of ginger garlic paste plus finely chopped green chilies, coriander leaves and curry leaves, 1 to 2 tablespoons of Meen Man curry chili powder, a tablespoon of lemon juice, a large pinch of turmeric powder, salt to taste, plain breadcrumbs, all-purpose flour, Panko breadcrumbs, pepper powder, chili flakes, oil for frying. Let's steam our seer fish. I'm using a Tupperware steam it. So I'll pour some water in the pan. I'm using a Tupperware steam it. It's very convenient to steam. It has holes here. Ensure you do not cover all the holes. I'll be placing a banana leaf and I'll place the fish on the banana leaf and steam it. So now let's light the gas. We'll cover it so that it steams quickly. Ideally, you should be steaming the fish and not boiling it in water. Since I have a Tupperware steam it, I'm using it. In case you don't have a steamer, you can always use your idli tray. Place the fish pieces in your idli tray and steam it the way you steam your idlis. That's going to take another 10-12 minutes to cook. In the meanwhile, we'll saute the onions, green chilies, etc. So let's light the gas. It's about 12 minutes now. Let's check out on the fish. Oh wow, it's changed color, so that's the indicator for you that it's cooked. Anyways, I'll just show it to you. Now you can see the fish is cooked, more than ample. We're going to crumble it anyways. We'll allow the fish to cool a little so that we can crumble it. In the meanwhile, I light the gas and saute the onions and green chilies. The pan is slightly hot. Let's add about 20 ml of oil. Little hot. We can add the finely chopped green chilies. Adding green chilies first is better because the spice gets into the oil right away. And now we can add the finely chopped onions, approximately 200 grams, just about a tablespoon of curry leaves, add a pinch of salt so that the onions wilt faster. Just because you want the onions to wilt faster, don't increase the flame. It always tastes better when cooked on a lower flame. So now let's add the ginger garlic paste. I have weighed it for you. It's approximately 40 grams. Garlic really does wonders to a dish. Amazing smell. We'll have to saute it for another couple of minutes. We don't want the raw smell, do we? Let's add about half a teaspoon of pepper powder, a large pinch of turmeric powder, and Meen Man curry chili powder. It may appear like you can add a little more oil. Do not get tempted. You will not be able to shape your cutlets properly. Cook it on a very low flame. This oil is more than sufficient. The fish has cooled down. Just use your fingers gently, crumble it. Don't mash it totally. Let it be nice and flaky. It's done. The potato can be mashed well, but the fish needs to be a little granular. Can you see it all? Now let's add the fish to the pan. Smells lovely. Just gently cut and fold Don't try to make a paste of it. Now let's add the boiled mashed potato. I'll mix it and add the remaining potato. All the ingredients in this are cooked, so you can taste it. If you require a little more salt, go ahead and add it. If you require more spice, you can add pepper powder or chili flakes. So we've added all the potato as well. All the ingredients need to be mixed thoroughly because we've added a little more potato in the end. Allow it to cool before we make the desired shape. All the ingredients are mixed well. See, even though we added only 20 ml of oil, it has not caught at the bottom. Now let's switch off the gas, allow the mixture to cool, and then we'll make our cutlets. We can add the finely chopped coriander leaves and the lemon juice. Now let's mix them all well. It appears just a wee bit moist, so we can add about a tablespoon of breadcrumbs. That gives a better binding, giving a very good flavor now. You can use your hands. That's the best way to mix all the ingredients. I've taken a small cup and greased it. I'll measure out the cutlet mixture in it and make round balls with it. Only after coating it, we'll flatten them. This weighs approximately 40 grams before the coating. It's always better to have even sized cutlets. Now we'll make the maida mixture for the coating. This weighs about 40 grams now. After dipping it in the all-purpose flour batter and rolling it in the breadcrumbs, it comes to approximately 50 grams. Let's take about 4 tablespoons of the all-purpose flour. We'll add about half a teaspoon of chili flakes, half a teaspoon of pepper powder, and about half a teaspoon of salt. Let's mix all these. I have some fish stock here. I'm going to use that to make the batter. If you have fish stock at home, well and good. If you have chicken stock, you can use that, or else just plain water. We'll add little at a time. Don't make it very dilute. This is the correct consistency for a single coat. What is a single coat? If you're going to dip the cutlet ball in this batter and roll it in breadcrumbs just once, that's a single coat. If you're going to double coat, this all-purpose flour mixture needs to be a little more dilute. For the 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, we added about 80 ml of water. If you're going to double coat it, you can add up to 100 ml of water. Repeat the procedure twice. You'll dip it in the batter, dip it in the breadcrumbs. Repeat the second time. That is double coating. When you turn the fork over, it has to drip gradually. It should not stay put there. It should not fall all in one go. Now you can see it's dripping gradually. This is fine. About the breadcrumbs, if you have Panko breadcrumbs, well and good. 1 coating of that is more than ample. If you're using the local breadcrumbs, you may have to give it a double coat. You can make your own breadcrumbs. If you have some leftover bread, just dry it in the sun for a day or 2 and run it in your blender, make your breadcrumbs, or buy a packet of rusks and powder it in your blender jar and your breadcrumbs are ready. Other options are, of course, you can run your cornflakes in your mixie and make a coarse powder of it and use it to coat your cutlets. Why not? You can even crush your rolled oats, crush them to a coarse powder and roll your cutlets in there. Now let's start the coating process. First, let's pick up the ball, roll it gently in the dry flour. Give it a light coating, not too much. Pat the extra flour off, and now let's drop it in the batter. coat it well. We'll drop this in the Panko breadcrumbs. Do not use the damp hand for the breadcrumbs. Gently roll it. Looks like a laddu. This is ready. Keep this aside. Let's repeat with the second cutlet. First in the dry flour, then in the batter. Be very gentle. And now into the breadcrumbs. Use the other hand. Otherwise, all the breadcrumbs will go moist. Now, gently flatten it. Don't make it too flat. And give it a nice shape. Press in the sides also, so that there are no cracks. Repeat with the remaining cutlets. Gas is on. Let's wait for the oil to get hot. In case to flatten it, you've used your fingers initially, it will leave the finger mark. So in the end, ensure you press it a little with the palm and touch up in the sides. Always the center, there needs to be a small depression, so that when you fry it, it puffs up. Otherwise, it will bulge upwards. We are going to fry them right away. You can prepare these cutlets and store them in your refrigerator to fry on a later date. If you're going to freeze them, as soon as you make them, do not pile one on top of the other. Keep one beside the other, open freeze it for at least half an hour to 45 minutes so that it becomes nice and firm. After that, you transfer them into a airtight container. If you drop them in the container right away, they will definitely stick, and if you try to separate them, it will break. So ensure you open freeze it first, allow it to harden nicely, and then transfer it into a box. The oil is hot, so let's drop the cutlets gently into the oil. Don't flip them right away. Freshly made cutlets, you can fry them very easily, deep fry them, and they will retain their shape. Frozen cutlets definitely are very, very cold. There's water content in them, so ensure that the oil is not boiling hot, first point, and only half the cutlet should be immersed in oil. The whole thing should not drown in oil. Put it on a low flame so that it heats up gradually. If the flame is high, the water inside will come out and definitely your cutlets will break. So to serve nice shaped cutlets, frozen cutlets have to be fried on a very slow flame and only partially immersed in oil. Since these are fresh, you can see they're retaining the shape very well. We are frying them on low flame, that's why they're browning gradually. We'll wait for it to become nice and golden brown. Nice and brown. I think we can give it another minute. Let's place them on a tissue to drain the excess oil. You want to know how crisp it is? Wow, I'm sure you can hear it. The stuffing is already cooked, only the coating needed to be nice and crisp. Frying it in this hot oil has made the exterior also nice and crisp. One more tip about your frozen cutlets: do not bring them to room temperature and then fry. Just wait for about 2-3 minutes after you take it out of the freezer and shallow fry your cutlets. We've used seer fish today. You can use seer fish, of course, or any fleshy fish from which you can remove the bones easily There should not be even a single bone because it could definitely prick us while having the cutlet. Enjoy your cutlets. I'm sure this has motivated you to cook. Do try it and give your feedback. For the recipe, click on meenman.com for all your non-veg requirements as well. Click on meenman.com and place your orders. Do follow us on FIT, that is Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. I'm sure you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed showing it to you. Thank you.